have 4 children and 5 grandchildren. I made knitted clothes and hats for all my grandchildren to come out of the maternity ward. It started with my first grandchild and all those that followed. My kids asked me to do it. It's customary in my country for clothes to be a specific colour representing something good. Health, peace and protection. I don't do it professionally and I work, so it's something I do in my spare time, and it takes months because I do it with all the love and care. Nor do I force my children to accept it. Most ask right after they announce the pregnancy if I can make the clothes. My oldest daughter, I'll call Pam, announced that she was pregnant and asked me to make it for her daughter. We found out later. Clearly I did. She chose the colour red, and honestly it was one of the prettiest jobs I've ever done and finished within 7 months of her pregnancy. She gave birth about 20 days ago, and my granddaughter was born healthy, perfect and bright. However, on the way out of the maternity ward, I was heartbroken when I found out that my granddaughter wouldn't wear the clothes I made, but one Pam got from her in-laws from a very expensive brand, like Gucci. I didn't say anything to her, but in a conversation with my son, I just vented that I was heartbroken about it, and that I wouldn't have any problems if she didn't ask, and I didn't do it in the sense of exposing my daughter or anything, but just after my son insisted on me talking because he realised that I was a little down. So the word spread among my children until it reached Pam in the form of a scolding for someone else. She called me angrily, saying that she didn't believe I was jealous of clothes and that her daughter could wear them at any time, but that I decided to make this moment about me and not celebrate my granddaughter's life. I'm lost. I'm just heartbroken that I've been making something so lovingly for months for a specific moment and not being told at any point that she wouldn't use it. My family is divided, with some criticising me and others on my side. Am I the idiot? Edit, I stayed with her through delivery and the following 2 weeks at their request, because my daughter was in pain from the C-section and my son-in-law was taking care of my granddaughter's paperwork. I put the clothes on her. There was a baby suitcase with the sets separated into packages and a label for what they were for. There was only one for leaving the maternity, and there were the clothes and nothing else. I even took a look at the suitcase and asked if it was that package, and she confirmed that it was what had these clothes. And no, I didn't comment on anything while I was there because she was really stressed, tired, and didn't need a comment like this. You are the idiot. Look, you're entitled to your feelings. Your daughter is entitled to change her mind about the coming home outfit. There could be a multitude of reasons why she changed her mind that you aren't privy to. I'm sure her focus was 100% on birth recovery and the new baby, not on your feelings regarding an outfit that will likely be changed 10 minutes after going home. Now she had to hear through sibling gossip about how you're upset over an outfit while she is recovering and adjusting to the baby. She's reasonably frustrated that your focus is on the outfit when there are much bigger things to worry about. I mean, it's not like she spit on the outfit and threw it away. I'm sure your grandchild will still wear it, and you can always ask her some photos in the special outfit to be framed. I disagree. Opie's not the idiot. Saying there's still time to wear the outfit is missing the point. The outfit was for a specific event. If you'd been asked to make a prom dress and spent hours and hours of your free time to make it, only for your daughter to wear a different dress to prom, no one would say, she can still wear it some other time. Similar situation here. Seriously. The in-laws bought the baby a super expensive bougie baby outfit. At the same time, Grandma spent months, over half a year, making an outfit by hand in her spare time as part of a long-running tradition. For this event specifically because her daughter asked her to. Her own daughter flips the script and chooses the money outfit that was probably bought in a store, packs it, and then asks Grandma to put the baby in it. So Grandma is stuck dressing the baby in the outfit she didn't make, and then biting her tongue because her heart is crushed, because she knows this is about her daughter and not her. This whole thing feels vindictive and cruel. Considering the mom spent 7 months on that, honestly, I would have made it the topic of every dinner because 7 months on a piece of clothing that was never worn because of some Gucci fabric. My daughter would be lucky if I didn't tell the news about this. She just expected her mom to take it on the chin and feels guilty about it after the fact because she knows deep down she did wrong. My wife has been pregnant for a while now and it's put a lot of stress on me. I've been doing more hours at work to get some cash ready in time for the baby, and it's been so exhausting. Throughout this all, my wife has been complaining every single day. She's having a difficult pregnancy, so she has my sympathies, but I can't sleep at night because she wants to have these talks or go on a drive because she's stressed. I'm really starting to lose it and she constantly complains. I'm a pretty cheerful person normally, and I absolutely hate hearing people constantly complain because it really brings me down. I'm pretty sure I'm going to crack any second, so I wanted to put an end to this complaining since I just need some light in my life. I told her that I'm balancing a job and taking care of you, plus everyone in life has their own challenges, and you can't just whine about it and play the pity Olympics. It's getting old. She seemed to get it, but it's been a week and she's been noticeably distant. Now I'm frustrated because I miss my wife. I just didn't want her to keep complaining, but I never asked her to stop talking to me. All I asked was that she was a little more positive, but she seemed to be taking it in the wrong way, and I was feeling kind of bad. Am I the idiot? My wife has been pregnant for a while now, and it's put a lot of stress on me. Bless your heart, dude. This is why women say nothing when their husbands or boyfriends ask them what's wrong. The fact OP is now sulking because their wife is distant really takes the cake. They want her to talk to them, but only in a cheerful way. You are the idiot. Honestly, you should never have made a kid if your morale was so easy to drain. This is only the pregnancy, and you're not even the one building the baby. I can't imagine how it'll be once the baby is there. Your wife is going through one of the hardest things in her life. She is building a whole baby. If you can't support her now, I feel sorry for her. But he's stressed, and he needs his sleep. LOL. Jeez, like he thinks it's gonna get better. I feel super sorry for his wife because you know she will always be on baby duty. They might as well get divorced now so he can get his sleep, he can work, and financially support the baby while she can get a man who is husband material. OP, Google supporting complain out. Your wife is the absolute centre of the circle. She's carrying your baby for goodness sake and she's having a very difficult time right now. She gets to vent to anyone, including you. You are the next ring out. You can complain to anyone else about how hard your life is, but not to your wife. Your job is to support her. This is just the beginning, my dude. You 1000% signed up for this, and it's a long road, but it's an awesome, fulfilling experience. My 23 female sister, 25, recently got engaged to her fiancé, 26 male, after they'd been dating for a year. Their engagement party was basically a dinner with friends and close relatives, and my sister went all out on the food. Marriage is a huge deal to her, and she'd had her whole wedding and married life planned out since we were kids. I've never felt the same excitement for weddings and kids, even though I wanted at some point. Since I'm a lesbian in a bigoted family, I long ago accepted that a big fancy wedding with my father walking me down the aisle wasn't part of the plan. This doesn't sadden me much, but my sister, the only one in my family who knows about my identity, has been convinced that I'm jealous of her since she started dating her fiancé. The dinner started out great, but after the main course, my family and relatives started asking about my dating life. At first, it was pretty harmless questions, such as, when are you getting a boyfriend and why aren't you dating? I saw that boy hitting on you just yesterday. It annoyed me, but my sister seemed even more annoyed. After dessert, when the alcohol started kicking in, the questions got out of hand. My mom said, I can't believe your sister got engaged first. You've always been more social, and my grandma commented that I was the more attractive sister. My sister obviously got hurt by this, and I caught her crying in the bathroom at one point. I tried to talk to her, but all she said was, Happy, you've made my engagement all about you, and then avoided me for the rest of the party. So this is the part where I might have been the bad guy. After my aunt asked when I would get a boyfriend for the millionth time and I'd had my millionth glass of wine, I told her that I'd never get a boyfriend, but when I got a girlfriend, she'd be the first to know. I stormed out the apartment, accidentally knocking a glass over, and took a cab home. My phone immediately started blowing up, but I turned the notifications off and went straight to bed. One of me and my sister's mutual friends who was at the party told me the next day that a wild discussion about what I said to my aunt was held, and then the party was cut short, my sister locked herself in a room crying, and everyone went home. I've now been blocked by most of my family and relatives. My sister sent me a nasty text about how my coming out on her part stole her thunder, and my mother no longer considers me family. I'm not going to try to make up excuses for my behaviour because I definitely could have been a more supporting sister, but I just wanted to know, am I the idiot? Not the idiot. You shouldn't need to hide who you are, and although there may have been a better time for it, it sounds like you were utterly pressured into it. You weren't the one making it all about you. Your family was. Who the heck says that someone is more attractive than someone else right in front of the person? Who says that? A blunt grandma. My wife is a twin and her sister has always, even when in athlete shape, been a bit taller and heavier than my wife. Grandma commented every Christmas about it. OP, your sister was angry at you before you even came out. She was mad at you and saying you were making it all about yourself when that wasn't true. People were harassing you. That is not your fault. I'm leaning toward everyone's the idiot here. OP, why in the devil's haircut didn't you stop the comments earlier without coming out? How they talk about you both is dreadful. This party sounds like a race to the bottom regarding who can ruin the party for your sister the most. If she's constantly being told that she's less social and less attractive, no wonder she wanted to show off at an event showing someone loves her above all others. I feel awful for her. OP, I'm sure you already regret weaponizing your coming out and are now dealing with the incoming toxic reactions. You deserve much better too, but I hope you apologize to your sister for not facing up to these bullies. You and your sis need to team up against this cruel, bigoted family. Unfortunately, all you can do is make your own best choices. When I, 22 female, was born, our neighbor handmade a wooden baby cradle for me. My mother used this cradle for each of my siblings. I'm the oldest. My sister, 21, and her husband, 21, live with our parents to save money since she doesn't have a job. My sister recently found out she was pregnant, and she asked our dad to get the cradle out of storage for the new baby without asking me. She and her husband plan on moving out to a place of their own and want to take the cradle with them. I, however, want to keep it at our parents' house. My mom has always referred to the cradle as my name's cradle, and growing up I've always been told that I would use it for my kids. I'm not planning to have kids right now, but when I do, I want to make sure I get to use the cradle. I'm concerned that if my sister takes it with them, I'll never get my cradle back. I told my mom and sister that she could use the cradle while she lives at our parents' house, but she can't take it to her new place with them. My mom got mad and said I can take the cradle back eventually, but my sister had done this before. For instance, my mom promised me a bedroom furniture set from my great aunt. Still, she took it without asking me for her and her husband, forcing me to furnish my apartment out of my pocket. I let that go, but this cradle is much more important to me, and I really want to use it for my own kids when I have them. Am I the idiot if I insist it stays at my mom's house, especially since she never asked me to use it in the first place? Wait, so it was used by you and all of your siblings, yet you're the only one that can own it? Yes, you are the idiot. Your sister needs the cradle now. You just hypothetically want the option to use the cradle someday. It's obviously not yours outright since your mom still has possession of it. She can decide to change her mind on who gets to use it or not. The same goes for her will and estate and anything else promised to you. You are acting like a child. Indeed, maybe OP wants to sleep in it herself. I would check that the cradle is even safe anymore, to be honest. Standards have changed a lot and many of them no longer are. That said, that cradle is a family cradle that was used for all the kids and should be used for the grandkids. Maybe offer to buy your sister a cradle or crib if it's so important to you. I disagree. My uncle made me a cradle when I was a baby and it was for me. Into the bottom he burned, to my name, Uncle Jim. Also, OP explicitly says that the sister has a history of borrowing things and not returning them. Her sister got that furniture that was intended for her, so I can see why she's possessive of the cradle. She needs to bring it to her own place though, otherwise it will vanish. Not the idiot, you have an emotional attachment to something from your childhood, and you don't want it damaged or lost when you use it. I would say that you shouldn't leave the cradle at your parents' house at all. Take it now before it gets to be too late. My 50 male oldest, Cooper, 18 male, just graduated high school. My wife and I have a college fund for him that we've been putting in since he was little. It's a pretty substantial amount. He doesn't actually need it though, as he got full rides on football and academic scholarships if he wants them. He's a solid and bright kid. Cooper has been dating this boy, Christopher, 18, for about 2 years now. Even though he's a little rough around the edges, he's a good kid and we generally like him. Apparently, Christopher is signing up for the Marines. Well, last week Cooper decided to tell us that he's not going to school and that he and Christopher are going to get married after he finishes basic. I wasn't too happy with that. I asked him why he'd give up so much like that, and he just responded that he always wanted to stay close to Christopher and start a life with him. He then asked if he could use his college fund to do so. I quickly reminded him that he was barely 18 and that he's never lived outside our house before, much less living with a partner. He got mad and told me he could handle it and that it was his choice. This started a whole argument about wasting his potential and giving up his plans just to follow Christopher around. I told him the college fund was for college and I wouldn't let him throw his life away for some boy, that he couldn't get it unless he went to college. Am I the idiot? Not the idiot. The college fund is for college. Giving him excessive money to run off and live with his boyfriend until it runs out isn't in his best interest. The lack of life experience and short-sightedness doesn't bode well for his future. It's his choice if he wants to go down a different path, but you do not have to fund it. Also, military people get married in their teens because they get more money, so their spouse can sit around and play house and then get some little job, and then they usually get divorced a year or two later. Yep, this. Chris will have the ability to support Cooper so he doesn't need your money. My brother did something like that and returned with no money 2 or 3 years later, back at square one. Oh, I'm getting divorced too now. It is a college education fund, not a travel fund, marriage fund, pet fund, business startup fund, or anything else. He and Christopher can still live together. Life will be better if your son goes to school. How many 18-year-olds have successful startups? Reminds me of my stepson who wanted to skip college to be a professional poker player, back in the day when it was on TV all the time. When we asked him where he would get the money for the entry fees, he replied, "Well, I have $80,000. When we asked where this money was, he said his college money. We reminded him that the money was ours and that we would spend that on college for him. If he didn't go, it was going to pay for a nice vacation. He went to college. OP, I wish you all well."